Okay, I think we get started. Welcome everyone to this webinar on apps for catering subjects on Thursday the 28th of February. Okay, first of all, what's an app? An app in the context of mobile devices is a small software application that can be downloaded and installed. In reality, an app is nothing more than an easy way to explore content normally online, sometimes offline, in the easiest way possible. Apple Computers was the first to coin the term app, and as we know, Apple is one of the best marketing companies in the world. Apple has removed so much of the headache of finding an application or app that's suitable for you, setting up payment systems, installation, etc., all on their proprietary iTunes store. Some would argue that this is too restrictive, as do I, but in terms of simplicity, it's a complete dream. So anyway, that's a conversation for another time, I think. So in terms of teaching, why would we want to use apps? Well, because of the rich media-based content that we can get, sometimes free, sometimes not. And we can engage learners with this content and applications to encourage interaction in the classroom and beyond. Okay, we are lucky with a subject like catering here today, as it's highly prominent at the minute in popular TV culture in the UK, Ireland and the US. This means that apps developers are keen to cash in on this popularity. You also have celebrity chefs looking to exploit their fame and creating rich, engaging apps and content that we can use in the classroom and at home. Finding the most appropriate app to fit your need is the most difficult part. Okay, so what are we doing here today? We will be exploring apps related to catering, cookery based subjects. Demonstrations for today will be Apple product based, but in most cases they're available on other platforms such as Android and Windows. The format for today is, after this brief introduction, I'll pass you over to John Crow from Northwest Regional College, who will demonstrate a small range of apps that he uses in his teaching of the Professional Chefs course. After the demonstrations, I'll have a little chat with John on how he finds apps and engagement with his students, including how he sees things develop in the future. Okay, how long should this take? Well, we should take no longer than 20 to 25 minutes, but if you want to know how to connect your iPad or any other Apple devices to the whiteboard in the classroom, stay tuned as I'll be exploring that in a few minutes after this main presentation. Okay, today we are trialing the Ustream service for our live broadcast and events. You'll have to put up with the odd advertisement, and there will be a break in transmission every 15 minutes, which will launch into a 30-second advertisement like you had whenever you first landed on the site. Don't panic about that. The content will carry on whenever the 30 seconds has expired and you've watched that advertisement. The recording, don't worry, you'll not miss anything at all. The recording for this session will be available within an hour of broadcast. One more point on Ustream. You can view this broadcast in full screen by clicking on the full screen toggle icon as shown here. Okay, let's get started. Next we have the demonstrations from John Crow, who is the coordinator for the Professional Chef Diploma at Northwest Regional College. John is really engaged and enthusiastic about technology, and it shows, as he's always looking for the latest app to use with his students, and has included the development of a student engagement online app site that he is in the process of completing as a means to encourage student communication and information dissemination with his higher level catering courses. So without further ado, we'll pass over to John.
Hi, today I'm going to talk about a couple of apps that I would use here in the hospitality department that I would use to aid me in a practical situation for training young chefs. The first app I'm going to talk about here is the Professional Chef. Professional Chef is in conjunction with the Culinary Institute of America, and also Paul Bocuse is involved in this as well. It's a fantastic app. It costs about, I think it's around £34-35, and basically it's a complete book. As you can see here, if I go down along the side here, I have all my chapters here. I can go into things like identification, my types of knives here, and it gives a selection of knives that you would commonly use in a kitchen situation, and it also gives you the names of them, as you can see. and it also, which is very good, is you can test yourself, and basically it will take away all the names, so that you can test your students. You can set up a little test which is nice and practical. You can also click on the knives as you go along, and then it will reveal as such. So that's quite nice for induction and things like that, when you're starting off the students as part of their induction week. It's really, really good. It also has how to sharpen a knife, and what's really good here as well, you can move the little cursor backwards and forwards there, and it actually gives you kind of a practical demonstration again. Obviously you would reinforce this with a practical demonstration yourself, but it's nice there for the students to have. And this, as you can see, is scrolls down through. You have hand tools here. Once again, what we would have done in the past is we would have set up just a selection of equipment on a table, and ask the students, then giving them some paper and pens, giving them some time, then 5-10 minutes to name all the different pieces of equipment, just as a bit of team building and things like that. But with this, you don't even need to put your tools out, and you can just set this up. And like I said, just click on, and it will reveal the answers. So that's good. The only thing I would say about this is, because it's the Culinary Institute of America, it is angled slightly with some of the terminology and some of the language. It is kind of Americanized. That would be the only fault or niggle I would have with this. But other than that, it is a fantastic resource. And you can see here measuring equipment that you'd use for gastronomy and stuff like that. It goes on down here, meat again, as you can see here. We have veal here, so it gives all the cuts again. You click on them, it tells you what part of the animal it comes from, cooking method, and where it comes from. Really good, high quality pictures, easy to use. We scroll back down along then, dairy, dry goods identification. Once again, like I said, some of the ingredients, like I said, we mightn't use over here in say, I suppose, Europe and stuff like that, but I think it gives the student a wide wealth of knowledge there. And just scroll back and back again. So, and as I said, it scrolls down here. You've got stocks, sauces, soups, mise en place, then fabrication of meat and poultry, and there is videos on this as well, which are once again that just shows you there the leg of lamb. And then, like I said, here you can see that there is videos that you can click through, and they're nice, short, they're concise, plenty of detail, and good for the student to watch, and for reinforcing the theory and the practical there as well. And it's step by step, really, really good. There's another part to this that I like as well. We can scroll on down, and as you can see, it runs right through all the chapters, mise en place, to the cooking, then the processing of the different items there. And you can even swipe. It's very easy to use. Just use your thumb down along here. And what's good here as well is you'll see things like you've court bouillon there, which is highlighted there. So if you don't know what a court bouillon is, you want to start a discussion, you just click on it there, and it brings up a nice, short, concise definition of what it is, which is really nice, really good. Grinding meat there, you see page 31. You click on that, and it takes you through to food safety, and so you have intoxication, bacteria, botulism, and it takes you right through about sanitation, hygiene. Really, really good, really easy book to use. Obviously, again, it's on the iPad or Android tablet, whatever the case may be, so it's easy. It's portable, and that's why I like it. Also, you can connect this to your whiteboard and stuff like that. So this is a fantastic app. Like I said, it's £35, but I believe it's well worth it. So let me just go back here. That would be one of my main ones that I would use. My second, then, there's a number of these. There's like a series. I've got two of them here on the iPad here at the moment. I've got Great British Chefs. Now this is it's very good because obviously you're linking into what's current in the industry for chefs, and you're looking at some of the leading chefs that would be in the UK at the moment. What it does, as you can see here at the moment here, it brings up, as you can see, Daniel Clifford. I can run through all these guys here. Some of them you'll know, some of them you may not. Pick this man here, Marcus Waring, so you click on him. And what it does is it gives you, obviously it gives you a profile, of his restaurant and his menus as well. And then it brings up his dishes, so you can see here, and they've all submitted a number of menus. So you see you can have a canopy here, starter, a main course, dessert, and petit four. So if you want to click on the canopy, then it takes you through to the canopy. And as you can see there, it's very simple: honey mustard popcorn. Gives you time, how much it makes, complicity if it's easy, medium, hard. Gives you the recipe. High quality HD pictures there as well. So it gives you ingredients. You can even take it through to a shopping list if you want, and other things that it goes with there as well. So it's matched for you. And then you have the method. Just click on the method. Very slick, very snappy, concise, clean. They're all kind of things that we like as chefs here as well. And it's very step-by-step preparation. You can go back up in the left-hand corner here, a wee icon there, like the knives or the spoons, I think it is. You can just click recipes, and this is fantastic as well. And it just breaks open into some, like I said, high-quality pictures. So you can just move along there with your finger, slide along, pick whatever you want. So we'll pick, let me see, pick these little lollipops here. See what these are. Fisherman's Friend meringues. There you go. So it brings up, and if you click it again, then you get an individual picture, and there again. So very slick, very easy to use. I think it's somewhere between £2.50 and £5, something like that. Not very expensive for what the content that you get. It also, obviously, there's the angle there. It links you through to their restaurant sites. It links you through to the books that they use or they have produced themselves, shopping. And there's hints as well. They also have added some videos here, butchering a rabbit, butchering a quail, which are good for students. You know, these would be expensive items, so you may not be getting these in every day, or you may not be getting them in a large quantity. So it's fantastic here, these videos. You download these videos, and then you just play them back. Very easy to use. Nice short videos, as you can see, 1.5 minutes. So it's not going to take up a lot of time. Scaling a fish, open scallops there. Yep, really good. Okay, so we'll just go back. Another app that I would use here as well is the baking. This is a series again. I've just got the baking one, but there's also like a main kitchen one. And once again, I've bought this again for the functionality of it, the simplicity of it, how easy it is to use. And these, as you can see, it's 4 categories here: cakes and tray bakes, pastries, small cakes, biscuits, breads, and they just run like nearly like a slot machine here, up and down. So you click what you want, run up and down through it. So we'll pick something like our summer fruit tart. Click on the fruit tart, and this is good. This is something I've been employing now this year as well with my students, that taking a picture of all the ingredients together. So it helps the student for organisation skills and stuff like that. Also the recipes down along the side, so it's easy to quantify. You can also click on the items. There I've just clicked on icing sugar, and it brings it up, and you can see there powdered sugar. It gives a description of it, preparation of it, and it gives you even the different languages there if you want as well, which is nice as well. And very simple to use, very easy, you know. Doesn't cause a distraction in the class. Each step is broken down simply with concise instructions, easy to read, and it just goes through the steps. It makes it very, very simple, and a finished product. But like I said, high quality pictures, which is key, and you can see nice thin crisp pastry there. Lovely. And you can go back there. And you can search for, there's a search engine in it there as well. You can favorite recipes and things like that. Go back. So you can set that for yourself, which is good. That price of that would be about $2.95, $3.95, something like that. So it's really cheap again. And it's something that you would use, easy to use. The next one I'm going to look at, obviously, is MasterChef. MasterChef is linked to the series. As you can see, this is in around, I think, about £5, something like that, £4.95, £5, something like that. And it's broken down into a range here again. You have classes, you have recipes, My Academy, and videos. The videos are quite good again, and they have used some of the chefs that have been involved in the series. And you kind of download these wee videos. They're short videos again. I'll show you that now in a second. The Academy, and basically what that is kind of testing knowledge and stuff like that, which is quite good. And then it unlocks extra content and stuff like that. Recipes, step-by-step recipes, as you can see. I'll show you that now in a second. And classes there. So if you click on classes, starts here. There's videos here, and it's broken down. You have kind of a tab up along the top with your meat, eggs, seafood. Videos here about sharpening knives, basic techniques, doughs and things like that you can. It runs through all the processes here, as you can see: steaming, smoking, sautéing, and there's videos there which are good quality HD videos there as well, which are quite nice. And these are all the basic processes that all young chefs would need to acquire and master, which are quite good. Okay, we can go back then. I'll go back home here for a second. Recipes. It's a quality of recipe. You see a picture. If we take one, we'll move across here, and we will take the chicken Caesar salad. It's easy. It tells you the difficulty of it. The ingredients, equipment, instructions. Again, you have a picture in the background there. How long it takes, portions. So ingredients. Opens up, nice and slick. Equipment, which is good. I think that's a nice touch as well. So it gives a student the extra benefit of what exact equipment he's going to need or she will need. And then instructions. Very concise, simple, easy to follow. It's all on the one page. And it's good. Like I said, this can be put up on your whiteboard or on your TV as well. Just go back home again here. Videos then, a selection of videos here. You download these, but they download quite quickly, and they have used some of the guys and girls that have been involved in the professional series, the last series there. So some of these are basic skills, some of them are a little bit more advanced techniques. French trim in a rack there, jointing a chicken, making hollandaise, things like that. Nice simple wee videos there, clear, concise, and it gives you the difficulty there as well of the process that they're doing. My only gripe is that you have to download these before you can play them and stuff like that. But other than that, it's really, really good. And then the Academy here. The Academy there is just my badges, so it's kind of like a reward system and stuff like that you can get, and it unlocks extra content. That would be the main 4 apps that I would use there now. Obviously there's a wealth of apps out there. You know, I have some extra there, Jamie Oliver there, but obviously that's you got to pay for each one as you go along, so it is kind of, you get, they give it to you in small pieces and you keep buying and adding to it. Whole food recipes there is I'll just show you that quickly. Obviously it's an American chain. And it's quite good as well because you can pick whatever course that you want, add a category there. So you have main courses, appetizers, breads, breakfast, brunch. The difficulty then as well, quick and easy, cooking with children, a budget, which is quite good as well. And vegetarian, I like it. I like this one because for its vegetarian angle, and obviously all the different dietary needs, which is quite good and can be hard to find. If memory serves me right, I think this is free, which is really, really good as well. So it brings up 2 recipes there, but lemongrass steamed fish dish there. Like I said, it brings it up nice. It even gives you nutrition and stuff like that, which is quite good. Like I said, I would use that there now with for my vegetarian background with the students, and it's quite good. And then you can shop on lists, favorites on hand, and stuff like that. So it's a nice app. Basically, that would be a roundup. Just to mention there, you have Tesco's food, but obviously they're angling to buy the food or order it through on their online system. You would have Big Oven there. That is kind of an American angled app. Thousands of recipes, but they would be 250,000 plus recipes there. Some of them would be kind of what your mom might make. Not trying to be rude to your mom, but it's leftovers, it's friends' recipes, and you can upload your own recipes, kitchen planner. It's okay. It's okay, but I wouldn't use it on a day-to-day course. But it's good as a reference, if nothing else. And if memory serves me right, that was also free.
Okay, we're going to do a bit of a discussion here as promised with John. John, thanks very much for the presentation. Well, in terms of kind of the apps that you demonstrated there, I mean, there are some pretty expensive apps. Did you have any problems getting funding for them, or was it the kind of college you're under?
Well, this iPad was part of a project a couple of years ago about embedding communication. So we had a fund there for buying apps and stuff like that. Most of these apps I then would have bought myself, and I just buy them myself because I have an interest in food.
Yeah.
But what's good about this as well is you can see that you can share with this Great British Chefs. You can share it. You can email the recipe. You can share it on Twitter. You can share it on Facebook, which is good as well. So if you have friends and stuff like that, it's really, really good. Easy to use, like I said, high quality pictures. But it's all about targeting all the senses of the student, I think, and giving them as much content as is possible, and obviously relating to them in a way that's natural to them. That's why I use these apps. That's why I use the videos, because they're able to relate to it, they're able to see it and grasp the content and replay it over and over again, which is key to reinforcing, for me. Like I said, the main one I would use is a Professional Chef, just because
it looks really, really good. I mean, it seems to have everything in there, and there's quite an extensive library of stuff.
There is, yeah. There's it starts from the very beginning there, just with the introduction about the hospitality industry after coming in, about being a professional, about how you conduct yourself, about the brigade system. So there's a whole wealth of knowledge there, right through to handling a knife, what the different equipment is, to the processes then of preparing meat, the identification of it, to the basics of every kitchen, like stocks. They're preparing stocks. That's the backbone of any kitchen. To meats, fish, and there is a wealth of recipes. The only drawback I would say is that it is kind of Americanized, and they use words like fabrication.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of that.
But that's a small price to pay for the amount of content that you get.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a lot of this with the applications that are out there, because there's you're on the Apple platform.
Right,
okay. And there's a big audience there for the American stuff.
What's good as well there, just they have a review at the end of each chapter, and they actually have a quiz, which is really good. So they're reinforcing the whole time. And like I said, the videos. But did you ever kind of connect this to your whiteboard and give it over to the student and engage them that way? You display it on the whiteboard. Yes, I put it up on the whiteboard, or I put up on with 50-inch TVs. I would put it up that way as well.
Give them a bit of interactivity and let them and maybe take it, or is it maybe just the technology to get it on the whiteboard been lagging behind until now?
Yeah, I think it's just once again trying to play catch up. Yeah,
because you would have connected it via cable onto the thing, which kind of restricts the mobility a wee bit of it.
A little bit, yeah. I have tried different VNC and stuff like that. Yeah. We've tried that, and we've had some successes and some failures. But on a day-to-day basis, I use a cable.
Yeah, which has limitations of the audio. Yeah. Which really, after this here, I'm going to do a short webinar on how to connect iPads to the network. It's a wee 5-10 minute thing. Okay. So if anybody wants to stick around, they can view that as well. But no, they kind of the ability to get the mobile device onto the screen has been around for a while, but it hasn't been very mobile. The ability now to use these different kind of software to make the device portable and hand it down into the students and still display it on the screen is now there.
Cool. Yeah. Just to make it seamless, that's what you want to do, seamless, and like you said, so you're engaging and involving the student. Yeah, which
kind of opens up the possibilities of kind of engaging them with quizzes and things. And you'd shown us a couple of demonstrations in there with the kind of quizzes and naming the parts. I mean, if it was completely mobile, you could then give it down to each of the students and kind of put them on the spot, without having to pull them up to the board and kind of that whole embarrassment.
Not bringing them out of their comfort zone.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That's great. In terms of where you would kind of like to be with the likes of the apps, is there anywhere where you would hope to go that maybe the technology isn't there yet? I suppose is there any gaps, what I'm trying to say? I mean, is there any gaps that you would love something to fill? Or maybe where you see things going? I mean, I know you've developed your own app. for meeting the kind of engagement with students. Do you see that's where we're kind of catering teachers should be heading?
I think it is. Yeah, I think. I've my pet is augmented reality. That is my pet. That's I'm going to keep chipping away at. But it's all about bringing the content as close to the student. It's about the relationship between technology and the old practical skills, and the blending of the two to give the student obviously the most rounded experience possible. That's what I want to do, and if I can use technology to aid that and to turn out a better student, then I will use it. You know. If anybody out there has a pair of Google glasses they want to give me, but definitely,
I think we all want a pair of Google glasses
on back order. But but definitely, technology is here. Technology is in every student's pocket. Let's utilize it. Let's maximize it for the benefit of all. And that's my strapline. That's where I come from. That's where I'm going.
That's great, John. Thanks very much for coming in and sharing with us. I'm sure everybody appreciates it.
No problem.
Thanks very much.
Anytime.
Okay, folks, what we're going to do here now is look at some connectivity options for iPads and iPhones. Now, we've looked today at some of the apps that John uses in his catering. This equally applies for any taught subject that you want to kind of engage content, display it on the whiteboard. There's certain apps out there that you can use to engage, make quizzes and engage the students on the whiteboard. The problem the teachers would have was getting that content to display for one on the whiteboard, deliver good quality audio, and then you have problems of delivering good quality video as well. So what I'm going to do here is go through just a couple of slides, shouldn't take that long, to go through some of the options and some of the solutions that I have found whenever I've been looking at this over the past 6 months to a year. Okay. First of all, what do you want to connect? We have a plethora of mobile devices in terms of tablets and phones, and our motivation behind using these devices are there's always money available for curriculum projects, what have you. Our own personal devices we carry around. They're easy to carry around. We want to be able to display what we find and what we do on these devices with our students and share that, and the best way to do that is on the whiteboard within the kitchen area or within the classroom area. To better engage students with the content on the mobile devices, or with some sort of interactivity application that maybe you could get the student up with, and they enable allowing you to engage with students within their safe comfort zones. So that would be the whole idea of, instead of pulling a student up to engage with the whiteboard, that you hand them the mobile device in their seat where they're in their safe comfort zone and they're more likely to engage with the content. Okay, at a very, very basic level, we have the basic VGA cable. Now, most, in fact all up until now, data projectors have what's called VGA connectors into them. That's normally comes out of either the desktop PC or the laptop and connects to the data projector, and the video is displayed via that cable. This cable that you see here on the screen is a Apple device connected into the bottom of either the iPhone or the iPad, and at the other side, the bigger block you can see on the screen here is a VGA connector end. This would act as the laptop and computer, and you would plug the cable that comes from the projector into this larger block area. And what that will do is it'll deliver the good quality imaging picture in VGA format. Now, the pros with this would be it's very cheap. The cable's about £20, £15–20. It's very easy to implement because all you have to do is connect in the cable to the Apple port at the bottom of your device, and there's no need for any networks, so it completely stands on its own. The problems we have with that is there's no audio allowed. Because the VGA doesn't carry an audio signal, you're restricted to just visual images. There are mobility issues with it in terms of if you want to connect this to your data projector and display it on the whiteboard, you're kind of restricted by the actual length of the cable between the device and your data projector. So realistically, all you're talking about is a standard maybe 2 meters movement from the projector screen, which isn't really practical unless you have a huge big long cable. But it's not really where you want to be at, because of, it's a mobile device, it's a wireless device. Why not use the wireless networks and abilities to connect? So the next one up is the basic HDMI cable. Now, I don't know if anyone knows much about HDMI. It's the technology, it's the type of cable that connects your audiovisual devices in your house to your television screens now. They're called HDMI, and they get over the problem of the VGA because they carry an audio signal. So if you have any content that you want to display, either audio or visual, you will be able to use this cable to connect into your iPad, iPhone, whatever it happens to be, and be able to carry that media content on through to the screen. Pros are it's very cheap, as like the other one. It's between £20 and £30. It's easy again to implement, like the VGA cable. There's no need for the network. The benefit of this one over the last one is the audio plays through it, and it's HDMI resolution. There was a previous problem with the VGA cable in terms of you're restricted to the VGA resolution, whereas now you're into high definition resolution. The only downside of this again is the mobility issue. The issue of it's only as long as your piece of string, or in this case your data projector cable. So now over the last year or two, we have seen the introduction of Apple's AirPlay. AirPlay lets you seamlessly stream the audio and video, and actually mirrors in some cases, the screen of the Apple device to any Apple TV or anything else that supports the AirPlay protocol. You would have seen this maybe on the news, where Steve Jobs, whenever he was alive, was up demonstrating the latest new iPhone, iPod, whatever it happened to be, and he was able to walk around this huge big stage with his device mirrored on the screen behind, and no one else was allowed to do that. But in the last year, we've seen more and more software and devices coming out that exploit this AirPlay technology, and it's now available fairly cheaply. Okay, let's explore a couple of the AirPlay options. Okay, in the screen we have a tablet device which is wirelessly connected to your access point, your wireless access point. This could be in your home, or it could be in your college network. You also have the Apple TV device, which is signified over here. Whoops, sorry about that. You have the Apple device, which is signified here. Okay, and what the Apple device is, it's a small media server that's connected to HDMI cable to either a TV screen or your data projector if it connects via HDMI. Okay, and the idea behind that is it's native. The Apple TV has native AirPlay technology inbuilt to it, and it's quite easy to connect to the Apple devices. Now the pros are it's very easy to use. You simply connect up the Apple TV device into either a projector screen or into a LCD plasma screen. The audio and video are passed through to the device seamlessly. The cons or the downsides are it's fairly expensive to implement. The Apple TV device is £99 to basically £100. You may need additional cables if you don't have HDMI data projector or LCD screen to connect to, and the cable has to be copyright protected. So basically, if you have copyright content like a film, you'll not be able to use AirPlay to broadcast it, because Apple just won't allow it because of the copyright. And probably the single biggest limitation is the wireless network is needed, or multicast enabled on a wired network. Now Apple TV has what's called an RJ45 port, which is the exact same port that comes out of the wall into your network attached PC, and you can use that for high-speed access in the absence of a wireless network. The problem with that is those cables in your desktop PC goes back to what's called a network switch, and a network switch is designed to limit broadcasts within its own single port. Now that's fine for fast networks and gets over a lot of other networking issues. The problem with this device is it's a multicast broadcast protocol, which means that the two devices need to see each other's broadcasts in order for this to work. That's why the wireless network is perfect for it, because by its very nature, whenever we have multiple devices on a wireless network, they all broadcast automatically. Okay, so it's really, there are ways to overcome the protocol, the broadcast protocol within a switch, but I'm not 100% sure your networks people will either have the time or the willingness to engage with wired access to this. So basically what I'm saying is it's best to have wireless with this. Okay, the other, if you don't want to pay the big money for the Media Apple TV device, there is another one that I've found pretty recently. It's called AirServer. Now, on the screen here you see the whiteboard, you have a data projector, and you have a laptop. Now, we already have these devices within our classrooms, so I have an iPad. I want to connect that to my laptop or my presenter machine. I want something then to throw that up onto the whiteboard via the data projector. In comes AirPlay. AirPlay does the exact same thing as the Apple TV without the need for an Apple TV. In this case, in this scenario, the Apple TV is connected, or the Apple TV is replaced by the desktop PC or the laptop that is connected to the projector or LCD. The AirServer system software is very easy to install, it's very easy to implement, and if you are connected to a wireless network, it's very seamless, it's very good. That's how John Crow delivered his presentation here today from his iPad using the wireless device. Now, as you can imagine, once your devices are completely mobile, then you know the world, or the iPad world, is your oyster in terms of engagement with students, because you are now completely unbound by wires. You're completely wireless, and you can move around, control the board, take control of the PC, engage with learners in terms of the content, get them to engage with the content within their own comfort zones, and I think it's absolutely great. The AirServer software, there's a couple of pricing plans for it. And in a standalone one license, it's in the region of $15. If your institution is keen on it and would like to use it, there are bulk purchase options for it, and one of the options is more than 20 licenses. You get it for something like $3 per license, which is pretty cheap, and it's an absolutely fantastic system. I've been using it now for a while. It's very easy to use. All you don't need any specific software on the iPad for either Apple TV or the AirPlay server. I should note as well, it's already inbuilt to iOS 6. Whenever iOS 6 software updates went in, they came with the option for AirPlay, and all you do is simply double click on the home button where it lists up all the running applications. If you slide across from left to right, you will get a menu, and one of the buttons is the icon up here, this little AirPlay protocol icon. And if the device is available on the network and your iPad can see it, then you can simply click on that and mirror it. So that's it. If you need any further information on either AirPlay or the presentation that you've seen earlier on today, feel free to drop me an email or give me a call. I do hope to kind of develop the connectivity to other devices whenever we get them, and whenever the technologies come up to date. But I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you get something out of it. I'll be sending out an email with a feedback form, and I would be very grateful if you could fill that in for me and let me know how things went today and how you find the whole system, other than the problems with the Ustream ads every 15 minutes. And what I'm trying to do is make a justification to purchase the Ustream system for any future events. So when that happens, you'll not get any ads, and it'll be just a seamless presentation. So that's it, folks. Thanks very much for coming along today. and I'll see you again in the future.